Hello, you're watching the English News Bulletin on QPVN channel. I'm Châu Nguyễn and now let me keep you up to date with the headlines. National Assembly Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn holds talk with Japanese House Speaker. Important original documents about the Vietnam People's Army made public. Vietnam's agricultural exports exceed $56.7 billion. On December the 4th in Hanoi, the Central Committee of the National Veterans Association convened the 7th Patriotic Emulation Congress themed Exemplary Veterans for the 2024-2029 period. The event marked the 35th founding anniversary of the association, December 6, 1989, and celebrated its reception of the first-class labor order. Party General Secretary To Lâm and General Phan Văn Giang, Minister of National Defense, attended the event. Over the past 5 years, the association, consisting of 110 subordinate organizations and over 3 million members across 63 provinces and cities, has been actively building and safeguarding the party and government, maintaining political stability at grassroots level, promoting rural development, eradicating poverty, and fostering patriotism and revolutionary heroism. It has also instilled self-reliance and resilience among the youth, aligning its patriotic emulation movement with the central and local campaigns. The Central Military Commission and Ministry of National Defense hope that, following this Congress, all affiliates of the Veterans Association will implement and transform the objectives into actionable programs, ensuring the success of the goals and targets outlined. Each veteran, as an Uncle soldiers, must continue to exemplify moral excellence and dedication in learning, work, and daily life, setting an inspirational example for the broader community, particularly the younger generation. In his address, Party General Secretary To Lâm emphasized that, as individuals who have fought, trained, and grown amidst the flames of war, and have made significant contributions to the cause of national liberation, construction, and defense, the Vietnamese Veterans Association stands out as a strong, exemplary organization in the political and ideological unity. Every veteran member must continuously strengthen the political resolve, place absolute trust in the party's leadership, and actively adhere to the party's guidelines and the state policies and laws. In doing so, veterans contribute to the association's mission as the political core, a reliable support for the party and government. The Congress also honored exemplary groups, individuals, and outstanding achievements in the national exemplary veterans movement. On this occasion, Party General Secretary To Lâm presented the first-class labor order to the Central Committee of the National Veterans Association. Within the framework of his official visit to Japan, on December the 4th, National Assembly Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn held talks with Speaker of Japan's House of Representatives Nukaga Fukushiro. Speaker of Japan's House of Representatives Nukaga Fukushiro welcomed Trần Thanh Mẫn in his official visit as National Assembly Chairman, which takes place right after a series of meetings between President Lương Cường and Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính with Japanese Prime Minister Ishiba Shigeru over the past month, demonstrating the ties and trust between senior leaders of the two countries. The host affirmed that Japan considers Vietnam an important partner in implementing foreign policy in the region and hopes that the Vietnam-Japan Comprehensive Strategic Partnership would continue to develop effectively, substantially, and strongly. National Assembly Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn affirmed that Vietnam considers Japan one of the most important partners and always support Japan in promoting its active role in order to contribute to peace, stability, cooperation, and development in the region and the world. The two sides agreed to augment the cooperation in such new areas as artificial intelligence, digital transformation, innovation, digital society, green transformation, energy transformation, investment, and human resource training. On this occasion, the guest invited the host to pay an official visit to Vietnam at a suitable time. The host accepted the invitation with pleasure. On the occasion of the 80th founding anniversary of the Vietnam People's Army, on December the 4th in Hanoi, the National Archives Center No. 3 organized an event to introduce to public a number of national archival documents with the theme 80 Years of the Vietnam People's Army. 150 archival documents selected for display at the event are original documents, many of which are made public for the first time, containing important information about the path of foundation, construction, and development of the Vietnam People's Army. Notable among those are the original documents about President Ho Chi Minh, General Võ Nguyên Giáp, and the Vietnam People's Army, along with such other topics as records and memorabilia of cadres who went to the Southern Theater, songs composed during wartime, serving the National Resistance War, and praising the Vietnam People's Army. Through this event, the National Archives Center No. 3 hopes to welcome visitors to come to study and widely spread the value of these valuable documents about the Vietnam People's Army. The 24th Joint Conference between Military Region 5 of the Vietnam People's Army and Military Region 1 of the Royal Cambodian Army took place on December the 4th in Da Nang. The conference outlined key measures to strengthen coordination and effectively implement policies between Vietnam and Cambodia, as well as between the two military regions. The conference focused on enhancing education and awareness among officers, soldiers, and the public of the strong solidarity and good neighborly relations, traditional friendship, and long-lasting cooperation between the two countries. The two sides also reinforced cooperation with the Border Demarcation and Landmark Committee to ensure security during border work, coordinated efforts to deploy forces and resources for post-crisis response, and collaborated on the search and repatriation of remains of Vietnamese volunteers, advisors, and soldiers who laid down their lives in Cambodia during wartime, in line with both nations' policies and customs. The strength of the Vietnam People's Army is built upon numerous elements, with human resources and military strategy at its core. Yet weapons and equipment play a particularly crucial role. Behind the strength lie the silent dedication of military technicians who have devoted their talents, intellect, creativity, and even their lives to building the heroic tradition of proactivity, innovation, self-reliance, and resilience that the military technical sector has upheld for 80 years. From the earliest weapons used by a small force of 34 soldiers who secured 2 resounding victories in their first battles to the triumphs of Phai Khắt and Nang Ngân, the steel-wheeled army not only built its forces but also developed and produced new weapons to enhance the army's combat power, laying the foundation for stronger victories. The introduction of the bazooka struck fear into the French forces, playing a key role in shifting the battlefield dynamics. With tireless hands, unrelenting shoulders, and steadfast feet, the Điện Biên Phủ campaign marked the first operation where the military technical sector supplied the largest volume of weapons and equipment for our main forces. Together, they created the historic victory of Điện Biên Phủ. During the resistance war against the American imperialists, the strategic supply lines of the Trường Sơn Trail and the Ho Chi Minh Sea Route came into being. Defying relentless storms and bombings, military technicians and transport forces operated no-number ships and windowless vehicles, delivering the hope for peace to the south. Over 1 million tons of weapons and equipment were transported via the legendary Trường Sơn Trail, along with over 150,000 tons of supplies and 80,000 troops crossing the vast sea to aid the South. Each weapon and bullet that reached the battlefield was invaluable. Particularly on September 10, 1974, before the liberation of the South, Prime Minister Phạm Văn Đồng signed Decree No. 211, establishing the General Technical Department under the Ministry of National Defense. The establishment of the department ensured a dedicated technical body for the entire military, capable of meeting the demands of large-scale campaigns as the liberation of the South approached. Military technicians closely followed every campaign and supported the main forces step by step, creating a solid and seamless technical support network. This ensured rapid advances and victories in campaigns, culminating in the historic Spring Offensive of 1975. Coming up next, Vietnam's agricultural exports exceed $56.7 billion. Bodyguards bring peace to border villages. According to the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, Vietnam's agricultural, forestry and fishery exports in November 2024 are estimated at $5.3 billion, up 13.9% year-on-year. This brings total export for the first 11 months to over $56.7 billion, a 90% increase from 2023, surpassing the 2024 target of $55 to $56 billion. Key products such as rice, coffee, tea, and cashew nuts saw strong growth. Vietnam's trade surplus in these sectors for the period is estimated at over $16.4 billion, a 52.8% rise from last year. On December 3, 2024, a policy dialogue program titled Solutions to Improve Disease Control from Animals to Humans and Animal Welfare Issues was broadcast by the National Assembly TV in Hanoi. The event, attended by National Assembly deputies, officials from Hanoi's Livestock, Fisheries and Veterinary Department, and international experts, aimed to discuss challenges and propose solutions to end the dog and cat meat trade chain, thus protecting public health and preventing rabies. While Vietnam currently lacks a law banning the trade, National Assembly member Nguyễn Quang Huân advocated for a pilot program in Hanoi and proposed a decree to regulate and penalize violations. The program highlighted successful models like Korea, where legal reforms ended the dog meat trade. Raul Selgam from the Soy Dog Foundation stressed the public health risk and urged the cessation of the trade to meet the 2030 goal of zero rabies deaths. Key recommendations included enforcing stricter laws, providing livelihoods alternatives for those involved in the trade, and boosting international cooperation on animal welfare. This initiative aims to drive social changes, enhance Vietnam's global image, and protect public health. Due to a lack of awareness, 2 years ago, 7 young men from Cologne village, Giao Au border commune, were lured and sold to Cambodia with promises of easy jobs and high salaries. Thanks to the efforts of the police and bodyguards and functional forces in Gia Lai province, all 7 were safely rescued and returned home. Today, they are working hard with their families, supported by local authorities and armed forces. Bui Thai, one of the 7 youths rescued from the trafficking scheme, recalls the nightmare of physical and mental abuse he endured abroad 2 years ago. Sitting by the evening fire after picking coffee beans at Company 15 under Court 15 near his home, he remembers clinging to the hope for the day he could return to his homeland. Returning to my parents and family was a great joy. The bodyguards and police helped me build a house and find a job. Over there, they forced us to commit fraud, work in internet cafes, or sell drugs. If we failed, they beat us. I was terrified and called my family to ransom me for over $5,900. The bodyguard saved me and I was so relieved to come home. Unlike Thai and Dai, who now work at Company 75, Ui Phu has chosen to grow cassava and durian to repay the family debt incurred to rescue him. I was scared indeed. I will work hard to help my parents. If anyone tries to lure me again, I won't go. The local authorities and armed forces have not only welcomed these young men back, but also created favorable conditions for them to work right in their homeland. These men have returned to the community. The government has paid attention and invested in building houses and creating jobs to help change their lives. They understand their mistakes and now, having been brought back, they focus on their work only. Local authorities have supported building houses for these families here. We assisted the villagers and helped them have jobs at Company 75 under Army Corps 15 and joined a mechanical training course at Gia Lai Vocational College. With the spiritual and material support from local authorities and armed forces, these young men now have stable jobs and lead peaceful lives in their hometown. They have become responsible citizens, assisting local authorities in raising awareness among residents to avoid falling for similar scams, contributing to safeguarding security and maintaining peace in the nation's border areas. And that's all for now. Remember, you can always watch the news again at QPVN.vn. Now, thank you for watching and hope to see you next time.